The Commercial Lease Assistance Program was started a few years ago by the city's Department of Small Business Services, providing free legal services to small business owners who would otherwise not be able to afford an attorney, in helping them deal with transactions or disputes with property owners that they're going to be leasing for their business. Edison is a small entrepreneur, and he found a location in Brooklyn that was really suitable for his business, which is a cafe. He reached out for assistance regarding negotiating the lease terms for his commercial lease, and was able to connect with me specifically.
La abogada nos ayudó muchísimo. Ella hizo todos los papeleos para aquí, para el negocio, habló con la dueña de casa. Ella se encargó de todo prácticamente. Yo solo tuve que ir y firmar y ya ella me explicó.
Small businesses are the heartbeat of New York City, and without them, the economy really struggles and might fail. Yeah, language access is extremely important for small business owners and just the population in general in New York City. So having access to either an attorney that has capabilities of speaking another language, or having the communications translated through an interpreter is important, and it is a service that all organizations under this CLA program provide.
Y dando gracias a Dios tenemos clientes que ya son, que vienen todos los días. Se siente bien porque ya nos sentimos todos como familia. A veces ya ni necesitamos preguntarle al cliente porque ya sabemos qué es lo que quiere. Lo que he querido hacer hace muchos años lo estoy haciendo ahora y me está yendo bien.
Good afternoon. I am Arthur Katz, Director of the Microenterprise Project at VOLS. The video that we all just saw is of our Microenterprise Project client, Edison Arrieta of Hi Hello Crepes in Brooklyn. And it's a great example of how VOLS builds from our partnerships with the City of New York's Commercial Lease Assistance Program to provide additional pro bono assistance on another commercial matter during the pandemic for small business clients. Today's first mini panel honors Morgan Stanley's Erin J law and features several of VOLS's partners responding to the economic crisis facing our city. To introduce Erin, I'm proud to have and welcome the founder of Bloomberg's pro bono program, now the company's head of legal in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, Valerie Borden Farkas. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank you so much, Arthur. It is a pleasure to join the VOLS community today to honor my friend and mentor, Erin Law, and the pro bono work she leads at Morgan Stanley. In response to the pandemic this past year, Erin's team has taken on pro bono cases with VOLS to advise small businesses as they work to keep their operations afloat, to represent unemployed workers, to ensure they receive the government benefits they deserve, and to provide free life planning documents to seniors so that their rights are protected and their wishes are carried out. And that's just with VOLS. Erin is known across the pro bono community for her tireless dedication and passion to helping those in need through her work with a wide range of legal services organizations. And the pro bono program that she built and continues to lead at Morgan Stanley is quite simply the gold standard within the in-house legal community. About 5 years ago, we launched a formal pro bono program at Bloomberg. And in the year leading up to that launch, I set out to design a program, but I had no idea where to start. So I just began networking with law firms and legal services organizations and other in-house legal teams to get advice on how to even get started. Who do I need to talk to? And I continue to hear the same refrain. Oh, you need to speak with Erin Law at Morgan Stanley. So that is how I came to know Erin, and we've had many roles together over the years. She is a true leader and mentor to those of us who follow in her footsteps as we continue to develop robust corporate pro bono programs. For most of our companies, these programs didn't exist in any formal form for in the last decade. So a lot of progress has been made. Erin is extremely generous with her time and expertise, always quick to provide guidance and encouragement to the in-house community. So her impact truly extends far beyond the clients that she directly serves, which is so critical, and the program that she leads at Morgan Stanley. So with that, let's bring in Erin. Erin, thank you so much for everything you do, and congratulations on your award today. Please tell us a bit about your partnership with VOLS and the work that you're doing at Morgan Stanley to respond to the economic crisis facing New Yorkers.
Thank you, Valerie. Wow, that is just so lovely. Thank you so much for your comments. On behalf of Morgan Stanley, thank you, VOLS, for this award. I am truly humbled and honored. During the COVID pandemic, I'm just so proud of the way dozens of Morgan Stanley lawyers immediately raised their hands and asked how they could help other New Yorkers, and did so while adjusting to working from home and all of the challenges that this unique time presented to us. In particular, we took on cases as part of the Small Business Legal Relief Alliance, which was newly formed in partnership with VOLS, Strzok, and over 24 law firms, companies, and legal service organizations. I especially want to call out Kevin Kernan at Strzok, who has been such a mentor to me and who time and time again has brought together the pro bono community at moments of crisis, including to support small businesses after 9/11 and this past year during COVID. It is clear that pro bono legal assistance can make a difference, and this effort to assist small businesses did so. Through this project, I had lawyers volunteer to do pro bono work who had never done so before, but they knew they could be of service. And at Morgan Stanley, we have so many transactional attorneys, real estate lawyers who knew they could use their commercial skills to be of service. Many clients received the tools they needed to successfully renegotiate leases and to obtain loans and other information. And you're going to hear about some of those stories in this panel. For other clients, the answers were disappointing, but those clients still had the opportunity to receive excellent, free, and compassionate legal advice. As the person at Morgan Stanley with responsibility for the pro bono program, which I could not do without the support of the legal management at Morgan Stanley, I know that each pro bono encounter positively impacted the lawyers who were able to feel that they were helping. Another positive outcome from this pro bono work was that it enabled us to bring even more Morgan Stanley lawyers and employees into the tent of pro bono work, either through the provision of translation services or more recently as businesses are beginning to open back up and think beyond crisis mode, by bringing in some of our front office business colleagues to consult on questions about business modeling and long-term planning. Being able to bring all of these smart, talented people to the table to help other New Yorkers is one aspect of this work of which I am exceptionally proud. My team was also able to advise New Yorkers through the VOLS Unemployed Workers Project, which since last March has served over 1,300 New Yorkers and helped those workers to secure over $1 million in unemployment benefits through claims or on appeal. We have a sizable group of employment lawyers at Morgan Stanley, and a number of them stepped up to be trained by VOLS and immediately took on cases on behalf of unemployed workers entitled to benefits. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize my co-honorees and outstanding pro bono champions, Harleen Katzman, Aisha Green, and Annie Mohan. Harleen and I worked together to sponsor an Equal Justice Works Fellow and have done so for many years. And Annie, Cadwalader, and VOLS have been great partners in a project to help seniors and veterans in need of life planning services. And what a welcome from Valerie Farkas. I am indeed so humbled. What an honor to be recognized in all of your company. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie, and congratulations again, Erin. Every day at VOLS, we are advocating for small business clients, the majority of whom are women, immigrants, or New Yorkers of color. And I now want to bring into our conversation here two leaders, two strong and steadfast partners of the VOLS Microenterprise Project, two people who are fierce advocates for small business owners in their own rights. Delia Awusi, who is the director of the Women's Business Center at Business Outreach Center Network in Brooklyn, and Commissioner Jonnel Doris is the Commissioner of the New York City Department of Small Business Services. Delia, first, could you share with us a little bit, what's it been like from your perspective as a community partner, as a community organization working with small business owners in crisis over the past year plus, and what's the role of volunteer attorneys?
Sure. Thank you, Arthur. First of all, I'd like to thank you for having me here. I'm honored to join today's panel and to talk about the perspective of BOCnet and our clients. So just a little bit about BOC. We are an organization over 20 years old, and we work with small businesses throughout the city. I oversee our the Small Business Administration's Women's Business Center. And I do remember at the beginning of the pandemic, right when word was coming out that things were getting ready to shut down, we had our last team meeting in person. And my boss, the executive director of BOCnet, Nancy Karen, told all of us in that room that you just wait, we will become frontliners. And I remember in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not a police officer, I'm not a doctor. But as the weeks wore on and we were getting calls inundated by small business owners, I finally understood what she meant. A perspective or one that always rings or comes to mind is a very dear client of mine. Her name is Lacey Chisholm, and she's the owner of Fit for Dance, which is a wonderful Zumba studio in the Crown Heights section of Brooklyn. So Lacey is an amazing gem of a woman. She's a former New York City DOE teacher, and I have been her business counselor since she started years ago. And so Lacey had recently transitioned from a smaller studio to a bigger studio, also in the Crown Heights neighborhood, and spent a lot of money, renovating and upgrading her studio space. Then the pandemic happened. I remember Lacey calling me immediately. She's like, Delia, I have no idea what to do. Throughout this, I've been paying my rent on time, but I cannot do it anymore. I knew immediately who to call, which was Arthur Katz. I knew his team at VOLS, and I knew their commercial lease program would take care of her, and that they did. Throughout every step of the way, Lacey would text me, she would call me. We were in an accountability group, and she consistently told me just the amount of support that these lawyers were providing her. And so from that perspective, that's just some of the great work that VOLS and the commercial lease program has done for clients like ours. And our work with VOLS is made possible in part because of the City of New York is standing by our side. I'd now like to introduce Commissioner Jonnel Doris. Commissioner, please tell us more about the city's support for commercial tenants and how you're supporting small businesses during the crisis and recovery to come.
Thanks so much, Delia. I'm excited to join you all today to give a brief overview of our Commercial Lease Assistance Program, widely known as CLA. Our CLA program started in 2018 through a partnership with Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A and VOLS, and also Take Root Justice, to provide business owners with free legal services for commercial lease-related issues. Since then, our CLA partners have provided services to over 750 businesses, of which 60% are located in the outer boroughs and 70% identify as Black, Latinx, or Asian. They have worked side by side on navigating new lease contracts, lease renewals, and back rent negotiations, and acting as a mediator on landlord harassment and breach of contract issues. The pandemic highlighted the disparities of economic security across New York City neighborhoods. And since last March, many minority-owned small businesses were disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and voiced a need for increased legal services. The mayor actively listened to our small business community and made it a priority to increase outreach and service delivery to New York City hardest hit neighborhoods. As a result, we've increased investment in the CLA program by $10.4 million over the next 2 years. I want to thank the VOLS team and my co-panelists today, Valerie Farkas, Delia Awusi, Arthur Katz, and of course, our honoree, Erin Law. The city needs and appreciates the support of our pro bono community partners more than ever before today. Thank you.